Uh, some of the investors, they put a question to us before, and somewhere from India also. I wanted to know about if someone wants to, buy hotel over here. What is the advice you can provide for these investors?
Well, for investors, let me tell you, I've been in this industry for 16 years. I've worked the first 12 and then been in an ownership capacity and an operating capacity the last four. This is a wonderful industry. Hospitality is number one in the world. And at this time in America, with the value of the dollar, the credit crunch, we would like people who are abroad to take this opportunity and explore investing in the hotel industry. It is my life and blood. I find this industry to be very dynamic, very rewarding, and I would encourage anybody to look into this industry and invest in this industry. Grow with us.
Great. Looking to the size of your association's membership, they are nearly what I have gone through. It mentions that 22,000 plus hotel model is in this association affiliated with.
Right.
And mostly, when we see to the honor, they are the Gujaratis. And looks like in this model business, Gujaratis are ahead. Can you spell why?
Well, I'll have to go back into history a little bit and explain to you how we got started and how it happened by chance that we're here today. Back in 1989, AAHOA, the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, was incorporated in the state of Georgia as a 501c entity. And the reason for incorporation in those days was that a lot of our members with the last name Patel were having a real hard time acquiring insurance, acquiring franchise licenses, and there was a stereotype in those days that we were not good operators and that we were not good owners. And maybe there was also a little bit of defensiveness on a lot of the people that felt that we were now coming in an industry and stepping on other people's toes. In 1989 we had 100 members. 19 years later, this is our 19th year, we have 8,700 plus members that own approximately 22,000 hotels in the United States. That's close to 40% of the total lodging market. We own 50% of the budget and economy brand markets in all of North America. And if you look at the numbers, they're mind-boggling. We help employ over 1 million people. And if you can just imagine the tax base that we bring along, which our assets encompass over $60 billion. We provide for jobs, we provide for payroll taxes, we provide for contributions to the Social Security Administration, we provide property taxes, personal property taxes, income taxes,
Wow.
and then the vendors that sell us the products like linens and breakfast food and television sets and air conditioners and roofing material, everything else, landscaping. I mean, we are an economic engine on its own. And in the United States, being the number 2 industry, we're a very vital part of this community. When our pioneers that came in the 60s, 50s and 60s that started this business in San Francisco, they came, they were not that skilled, but they found a niche. They knew that when they got into a little mom and pop hotel, they could live at the place of work, so that they could work round the clock and not have to worry about getting help. Their expenses were written off through the businesses, so there was a multiple return on this business. And then when relatives or friends that immigrated followed success. Obviously, if I were you and you wanted to borrow me money, if I told you I was going to go into shoe sales, you'd say, I know nothing about that business. Why would I give this guy a handshake loan to go open a shoe store when I can give him a handshake loan to open a hotel and I know everything about that business?
Oh, okay.
And so it happened that success followed success. Money that was given to the community to help each other out was in the same industry. And by chance today, this is where we are, where we control 40% of the industry. The phenomenal part of this is 90% to 95% of our members are Gujaratis from the state of Gujarat and come from within a 100-mile radius. Although we're not related to everyone, we do carry the same last name, Patel, Bhaktas, Nayaks, Desais, but all Gujaratis. And like I said, this industry is wonderful, and we hope to continue growing in it. But I'll also let you know that a lot of our members now are diversifying. We've opened banks, we're doing retail centers, we're getting into industrial parks, we're getting into other businesses other than just hotels. And if you just look at some of the vendor list that AAHOA has in terms of lending and in terms of the other ancillary businesses that come along with it, a lot of our members are now investing in those businesses as well. So lodging has definitely helped Gujaratis grow in the United States.
As you mentioned, this has proven a great engine to develop more and more jobs. Is there any labor problem that you face that association covers with, or they are facing any kind of a labor problem in this business?
Well, definitely what you have just mentioned, and I'll get a little bit deeper into it. It deals with immigration reform as well. Our industry over the next 4 or 5 years is predicted to have a shortfall of almost 350 to 400,000 jobs. And AHNLA, which is also the American Hotel and Lodging Association, has a lot of these statistics. We as Americans have found ourselves to be in a cultural quagmire where we find line level jobs like dishwashing, car washing, being a cook, being a hotel maid or a hotel house person, or working in a line level job in McDonald's or Burger King as undesirable jobs. And we currently have approximately, according to the government statistics, almost 12 million undocumented workers in this country.
Okay.
And many of those folks work in the hospitality industry. They work in restaurants, they work in bars, they work in golf courses, they work in all the support systems that come along in the hospitality industry. And make no mistake, AAHOA is for a strong, secure border. AAHOA is for legal immigration. But at the same time, how do we address a shortage in labor force? With this shortage in the labor force, it makes us uncompetitive along with the rest of the world. And in order to be a friendly nation, in order to be a nation that is able to provide the services, this is also one aspect that we'd like the federal government to resolve. We'd like to see some kind of immigration resolution where the federal government also addresses the 12 million undocumented folks here. Maybe if it's not a path to citizenship, but it should be some kind of a path to be able to be legally documented, to be able to legally pay taxes, and to be tracked, and that these folks can work without fear in this country, and at the same time be able to help fill our needs for labor. And so, once again, I wanted to be clear that AAHOA is for strong, secure borders and is for legal immigration. But when the federal government, over the last few years of just debate and not coming up with solutions, is not an acceptable status quo. Right now, currently, a lot of states are coming up with rogue legislation, and it's helter-skelter out there. Arizona's got its own legislation. Colorado's got its own legislation. Oklahoma's got its own legislation to deal with this issue, and some of it is very radical. It's uprooting families. In many cases, it's inhumane, and we're supposed to be the country that is leading the charge on democracy, on civil rights, and it seems like we've failed in many areas. And until the federal government decides to do something about this, I feel very easy as a citizen that we're in this quagmire where we're not what we tell everybody we are.